Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I am your host, Christian, the unbiased king, Espinal. And joining me through Discord, it is my partner in crime, the man, the myth, the legend. It is Joshua, Gangsta Time Code.
Well, it's called partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
Gangsta Time. What up, Chris?
Hey, buddy. Oh, my goodness. I'm so glad to be back. These twice a weeks have been fun, man. Doing the show a little bit more often has always been a little fun. I'm so glad to be here again. Full house, almost. We're missing a couple things, to be honest. But you know what? We're actually excited. We have both manga and American comics to talk about this week. So let's get into plugs. You can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Joshua Cole. Where can they find you?
At JD Cole _37. That's on Instagram as well.
Oh.
Also on Twitter, NY Chillin'. That's with an EN at the end.
Oh,
that's on Twitter.
Yeah. Brian's social media, you can find him at b.esp on Twitter and Instagram. The DOT is spelled out, so remember that. He has a Twitch stream that he likes to play video games on, so follow him at twitch.tv/itspunchline. If you guys want to talk to us at all, directly to us, our direct line is newjumpcitypod@gmail.com. Email us with anything you guys want us to talk to us about, suggestions, recommendations, ways to make the show better for you guys. We'd love to hear some feedback and what you guys think about the show. So please email us or comment on whatever video you're watching. Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you listen to podcasts. We are on there. The audio versions usually come out first. So subscribe to us on there or subscribe to us on YouTube. It's a lot of fun. We have video versions, all that stuff, little highlight breakouts of all your favorite series. So follow us on that stuff. And I think that's it. I think that's all. Without further ado, let's get into the show proper. One Piece.
Yes.
This is One Piece, chapter 1028. Snake. Wait, what was this thing? Oh, sorry. You got me slipping. I'm going to be honest. I didn't have it up.
Snake.
Yeah. Oh, first of all, pretty cool color page. But yeah, this is 1028 Brachiosnakis. So last we left off, Momonosuke has been tasked with creating dragon clouds so he can pull Onigashima away from Wano, which is about to drop on top of it. We had Luffy reigniting his battle with Kaido. We've had Zoro having a little trouble with King on his battle. And now we are opening with a pretty big bombshell, actually. We open up with the CP0 Aegis, who are just chilling still. They're just like not really doing much, vibing. One of them took a call. You can actually see it. Something I didn't notice, and I wish I could have. I wish I did, and I would have known who was on the phone. You can see his snail phone with his dumb, stupid goatee that he has. Could have
been anyone's goatee.
Yeah, the Dendenmushi is what it's called. And he's talking. One of the Aegis guys is talking to someone on the phone, and this guy is talking about how there is a dragon here now, and it's not a friend of Kaido's. So
Nope.
Pretty good. Like no matter what happens, these pirates are going to destroy it. One very strong pirate is going to get taken out by the other, and that doesn't really bug the world government all that much. But the person who was on the phone has bigger fish to fry. He actually reveals that on the freak chance that Kaido actually loses, the world government plans to take under its direct control the nation of Wano. I think one of us called that. Maybe Brian?
Yeah, I want to say it was Brian.
Yeah, that the world government would just immediately pull up and be like, this is ours now. And to be fair, I guess we should have seen that coming as well. They're already on their way, which is how thirsty they are. It's pretty wild.
Right. Is that Wano in the distance?
Yeah.
No, right. They're just on their way.
Yeah, they're just on. You could tell by like the waters that they're close because Wano has different.
Oh yeah, the Japanese. The artistic.
Wano's special like that. It's like a whole different world, honestly. But yeah, as they're pulling up, this guy also reveals that there's one more order, and it's revealed that it's Rob Lucci giving the orders here, and he orders this dude to at some point take Robin away from everyone because, again, the Cypher Pole is thirsty for Robin as well. Like, they've been chasing this girl forever, and they're like...
Right, that's what the Water 7 arc was about, right?
Yeah.
Not Water 7, what is CP what?
No, it's Water 7 / Annie's Lobby.
Okay. Annie's Lobby. Okay.
Yeah, it tends to get... all of that stuff is technically the Water 7 arc. But...
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
one of the greatest arcs of all time.
Whoa, man. Love it. Love it to this day. And yeah, so people are after Robin again. Will they get her? I don't know. She's chilling with Brooke right now, so they'd have to go.
She's like, it's so good to have you around, Brooke.
And he's like, yo.
Like, everything is all merry, which makes me feel like,
damn, they might take her.
Are we gonna have a Water 7 part 2?
No,
Imagine they go all the way back and say, yo.
Yeah, they won't be bringing her.
We will wait for you back there. We're gonna run that fade back.
They won't. Well, they can't go to Annie's Lobby because it's destroyed now. Remember the Buster Call that they.
Oh shit! Yeah, yeah. Annie's Lobby was its own island, right?
Yeah.
Not
it was,
and it wasn't. Yeah.
It was a judicial island where everybody who goes there is pretty much automatically guilty. So it's more of a formality than anything. You have to go through there, and then you just get charged guilty, and then you go through the gates of justice, where nobody can follow you because there's Neptunians everywhere. It's pretty rough.
Wait, hold on, and you know what? Let's not veer off too much, man. We'll save that conversation for another time.
Okay. In any case, Momonosuke is panicking because he doesn't know how to produce flame clouds. But he's trying to keep it going despite the fact that he's so scared. He's like, if I do not do this, countless people will die. So he keeps trying. Yamato is noticeably not with him because we actually see him climbing up the Onigashima as it's still moving. Apparently, he left Momonosuke with the task of creating flame clouds in order to pull Onigashima away, while he goes over to the massive armory to fucking take care of the countless explosives that are there. That already makes a shit situation somehow worse.
Right. He's like, listen, it's going to be devastating. However,
it's going to be
if X, Y, and Z is left to be alone, then it's
yeah.
Come on.
I guess it's a difference between having an anvil drop on your head as opposed to several atomic bombs.
Yes. No, real talk. An island that size dropping on Onigashima would probably destroy the entire island of Wano.
Yeah.
By itself.
Yeah,
but with the explosions, maybe it would I don't know. Maybe it would cause an explosion so great
that it'll fuck up the ozone layer. I don't know.
Something.
It's just an extra fuck you.
No.
It's like, and there's explosives on this.
That's what I thought. All right, so look, we're not just going on. I'm not. I'm not just going off on a tangent for no reason. Yeah. Listen, my thought was, Yamato, do you really have to do something about those bombs? Because it's going to be pretty dire regardless of this shit drops. What the fuck is some extra bombs going to do?
Well, I guess
what worse?
I guess the thinking is that the Onigashima by itself will destroy just the flower capital of Wano, but the explosives probably.
That's it.
Yeah, I guess Wano's a big enough place. There's different provinces and all that stuff.
I guess. Yeah, it is a huge island.
Yeah, so the explosives will just probably even exacerbate that damage. So I guess that's the thinking. It just seems that way. All right, I think it's fucked either way. It's not great. But anyway, Yamato gets to the surface and goes into his full beast form, which is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like the little flames around. You know what it reminds me of? That one game where you play as, I guess the Nine-Tailed Fox or whatever. I forget the name of the game.
Amaterasu.
Yeah, I think that's what. I think that's the name of the
Okami.
character. Yeah, kind of reminds me of Okami.
Yeah. And it's like he's like a painter or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, I never played the game, but I know of it.
Yeah, I don't think I think I played it. I never owned it. I played it because it's like maybe at a friend's house or something. But anyway, I digress. Back at
Personally, this reminded me of that Digimon character.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking.
You know what I'm talking about? When it was that season where it was like only 3 of them.
Yeah,
it was like kind of darker, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it was dark.
It was like in the real world.
Yeah, it was in the real world.
In the new digital ass world. That was for sure.
Well, the digital world existed. That's how you. The whole premise of the show is that this is the real world, and the digital world actually exists in the real world. And like, but
that's what it was. Okay. So it wasn't. Yeah.
It's somehow the plot of every American adaptation to like a Sonic game or whatever. It's just like, it turns out this thing's real. It's like the Smurfs, you know, like those Smurf movies.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But in any case,
that's what came to my mind.
Back at the performance floor, Sanji is going in with Queen. They're just like exchanging hits. But Sanji is getting caught off guard because there's something off with his body. It's still affecting him. He's still like, fuck, what the fuck's going on? And Queen
he has no swag.
Yeah.
He's lost it.
Yeah. A swagless Sanji? What is that? What worth is that? Queen is like constantly trying to get him back into his raid suit. Zero?
Hey guys, if you're listening, we love you. Leave a rate, 5 stars, review, all of that. And if on YouTube, you get to see cool shit like me throwing up a 0.
Oh yeah.
To your boy Sanji. Leave a like, comment, be like, yo, what up?
You ever want to see Josh? You ever want to see Josh form a perfect circle with his hands? That's only available on the video version. So get on it.
That's it. New Jump City on YouTube. Just type it in just like that. You'll see it.
Yeah, you will.
Anyways.
Yeah, Queen is desperately trying to get Sanji into his raid suit just because he wants to see it. He's very...
Yeah, what a thirst boy. Thirstosaurus Rex. Like...
I love it. So, yeah, he just keeps trying to...
All right, let me stop.
Because he's such a fucking science boy.
Barney in the face ass motherfucker. Look at him. That's Barney with a cigar. Are you kidding me right now?
It is Barney with a cigar.
What are they doing, bro? What is Oda doing, man? He's so crazy.
To be fair.
You gotta take a moment to look at this goofy shit. Like, I'm supposed to be this is one of the big bad guys?
Yeah.
This is the toughest person we've seen so far, aside from Kaido and King?
Yeah, Josh. Hey, you need to understand.
And red hair?
This is exactly what a Brachiosaurus looks like. And you need to understand.
Yo, he keeps saying it. They keep talking.
It's my favorite. It makes me laugh every time. I don't know. Because Oda started this way back in like Annie's Lobby where he made Kaku just be like, this is what giraffes do. It's like,
yeah.
And everybody's like, what?
Yo, personally, what makes this additionally hilarious, and we brought this up before on the podcast, but it's like, we don't know what dinosaurs look like. But forget what we are saying, us novices, just speaking on our limited knowledge of dinosaurs. Actual recent research is suggesting that dinosaurs probably look completely different from what we actually see them as. Like, they probably didn't look lizard-like at all.
Yeah.
You know?
So Oda's taking some real liberties with that.
He is. I think it's actually funny because he keeps really saying, funny. Like, yeah, this is what a brontosaurus does. And everyone's like, yeah, I guess. It's true. I just think there's a little bit more wit to it.
I'll explain my favorite part that made me laugh really hard in a few seconds. Okay, so Sanji actually manages to hit Queen and send him flying backwards quite a bit.
He grilled his stomach.
Yeah. And Queen immediately responds by going into his full beast mode, his full Brachiosaurus mode. And he does this thing where he lines his body up in a perfect line. And it took me a while. I had to go to the One Piece wiki to really understand what just happened here.
Yeah, I didn't understand what happened at all.
So
please enlighten me.
Queen seems to be able to detach his head and his tail from his body and slither it over to where Sanji is. And my favorite thing is that he manages to he wraps Sanji around in his endless dinosaur neck, and he says, "Mwahaha."
Like a snake. He's a snake right now.
Yeah, he says, "Caught you nappy. This is what a Brachiosaurus can do." And Sanji
No,
says,
it's not.
And Sanji says, "Damn it, I had no idea."
Like his legit response.
Oda's the greatest.
They had no clue.
Oda's the greatest of all time.
He is, man. He is.
He's like, ah. It's like he's literally like laughing at us. He's like, yeah, I'm just gonna do whatever you want, whatever I want, and
you have to take it serious
because
this is one of the top 3 Straw Hat members against one of the best villains in the fucking series.
Yeah, because,
so far.
Because even my characters are like, this is ridiculous that this shouldn't be possible. So yeah, Sanji's wrapped up completely in this Brachiosaurus neck, and it's really squeezing him. Even with the color of armament, he can't really like protect himself from the squeezing. And not only that, Queen has cannons installed into the torso that he leaves behind because he's a cyborg. He's a scientist, just like Frankie did. He's souped up his body with all these weapons, his dinosaur-ass body. And it's also voice activated. So every time he says brachio lasers, it shoots him. Like, it shoots automatically, regardless of the context he's saying brachio lasers.
No, wait, I'm sorry. Wait, I'm gonna wait for you to get to the part.
Yeah, because, okay, the reason I mentioned that is because Queen goes into his like monologue where he explains what his body can do. And he's like, my favorite part also, he's just like, for a normal Brachiosaurus, that leftover material would be useless.
Yeah, material. Like, bro, you'd be dead.
Oh my god. Yeah, so he says, so I equipped brachio lasers on my torso. If I call out their name, they'll shoot right at, and they shoot him. He's interrupted by friendly fire of his own body. Because it doesn't matter. And he even like cries out to his own body, being like, "No, I was only explaining."
Bro, the way he gets hit so off guard, and Oda's so great. The way he writes the expression, he's like, and like he really sold it. He really fucking sold it. Like in the art, bro.
Yeah.
That he got caught completely off guard. And then it happened again. Oof.
It happens again because he turns around and he yells. He says, you idiots, you're only supposed to shoot when I call out brachio launchers like an attack name. And he doesn't get to finish that because it shoots him again. And it hurts him so bad that he actually has to let go of Sanji and uncoil his weird body. And Sanji lands on the ground. Queen is convinced that he's killed Sanji because, he doesn't have the ability, even with his armament hockey, to protect his bones from being crushed. But Sanji gets up and he's all bent out of shape, like a certain familiar face from his past.
Oh, really? I thought you was gonna say Dak Prescott. I was gonna say familiar quarterback. I was gonna be like, "Yikes, Chris!" But look who ended up being real savage.
See, I'm not a monster. I'm not.
You're right. I guess only I'm so petty to think of that.
Yeah. Honestly, this is a very Dak move to get injured like this,
God.
And also be like, I could still play.
I'm to fix it. Oh my god!
You started it.
He's quarterback.
You started it. It was your fault. I blame you. Okay, so Sanji's pissed off because he's like, fuck, my latent powers are awakening. Because apparently the many experimentations that Judge did on his other sons actually is awakening within Sanji during this battle. He wasn't a failure after all. And Sanji very much resents this because he fucking hates his family.
Yes.
Queen tries to be slick and come out with a big ass sword, and he like swipes it across Sanji's neck, and it just breaks on his face.
breaks his cyber sword on his fucking face.
Yeah.
I said cyber sword because why not, right?
Yeah.
Everything else is cyborged out.
Yeah. Oh man, and Sanji's just like, shit, this sucks. I don't want to be a monster like them. So, and that's where the chapter ends. Oh man, what a great fucking chapter.
Yeah, this was awesome.
This is my RGC. I don't give a shit.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
Is yours,
Dead Road.
Is it yours as well?
Yeah.
Certified RGC.
Yeah.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
I'll tell you what.
It was hilarious. There was development. It had like a little bit of everything. There was behind it. This was an all-star fucking chapter, bro.
It really was. Every now and
It had
then
everything.
One Piece has chapters like this where it's like, this is One Piece in a nutshell.
Yes, it's just yes.
It's
Oh my god!
development in the story.
even the trope of the time of the race against time thing that we was talking about before.
Yeah, it's pretty much
Everything
One Piece
is present in this chapter.
all together. There's the comedy. There's the weird powers. There's the fun, like that weird action. And there's like the development in characters that's like low key deep and stuff, like, and reaches into the lore of the series, with Sanji getting his robot body now from his family. So much is going on, and I very much love it. You know what? And I'll tell you what, this wasn't my RGC coming in to recording this episode, but talking it through. Sometimes this podcast does it to me that when I talk about something with you guys, it reignites my passion for this thing, and it makes me look at it in eyes. Just describing it is like, oh wow, this was fucking awesome after all. So I'm so
I agree.
I'm very happy with this chapter, and I'm so sad because One Piece is off next week. I can't believe it every time.
It was such a great chapter,
And
it's left us on so many talking points. I mean, what about Cypher Paul, man? Lucci, he's back.
Yeah.
But we knew that already.
We knew
right?
Lucci was part of Cypher Pole, but we didn't. I mean, he's not on his way there. He's still.
Why is he the leader, though?
Well, you know what's interesting is Lucci's on Marie-Joie. So.
Is he?
Yeah, he was there. So. He made it after the aftermath of what happened there. So he knows what happened. And I think like he's a little like scuffed up from whatever battle happened there. Let me look at it again, but
Wait. Oh, because something happened.
He is on Marie-Joie, but he doesn't look like he's messed up by the battle at all. But something happened in Marie-Joie while Wano.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
During Wano or
During
the
Wano.
Reverie? So right before Wano.
The
right?
Reverie is happening at the same time as this invasion, or was happening.
Oh my God! This Wano situation has only been only taking place in a few days.
I think Wano overall has been maybe a week or two.
Oh my God!
No, it's probably a little more because they had some time to prepare before going to Onigashima.
Yeah, right. There was
a prep time moment. So, yeah.
Reverie only lasted a day though.
So, yeah, say like 3 weeks, unless you guys in the comments have a better.
Yeah, please.
Please let us know.
I'm obviously very lost.
I'm thinking it's like 3 weeks, but yeah. That being said, well, man, what a great One Piece chapter! I can't wait to see the post Wano arc is going to be one of the best post One Piece arcs ever. There's just so much information to dump. I
don't want to put too much expectations on it.
I always love those.
I'm never put down by One Piece. I'm never disappointed, but I just don't want to do the same thing I do to all these other series.
Well, I'm saying that because every time that an arc ends, they always get like that info dump of what happened around the world. Like every time that there's an arc that's finished,
Do you know what those chapters are like to me? Like that Rebirth annual.
Yeah, they are every time.
Or the Marvel Legacy shit when they have, when they kind of give you a full sense of the whole universe, like it's all together, and you hear all the little like storylines and plot lines.
Absolutely.
But just, obviously Reverie is these chapters are much better though.
Yeah. And there's a lot happening. There's the Reverie. There's whatever's happening with Blackbeard.
That we have not heard anything.
Yeah, Shanks is apparently gonna do something this year at some point.
Oh, he's gonna do something?
Yeah, Oda mentioned that like Shanks is definitely gonna be doing something soon. So I'm excited.
I hope it wasn't because of any pressure.
No. I think he was just like kind of teasing for a series, you know. Sometimes it'll happen.
But will he not be cool anymore if we see more of him?
I mean, we have to see more of him eventually. He's such a big part of the series. It'll be unavoidable. And I don't think he'll be less cool. I think there's still a lot of mystery and intrigue to Shanks, as there is with a lot of characters like Blackbeard and all that stuff. So, anyway.
If he loses a fight to Blackbeard, I'm calling him a buster.
Well, he got those scars across his eyes are from Blackbeard.
Didn't he have those during the Paramount War?
Yeah, but in theory, he's known Blackbeard since he was a kid. If you remember, like that flashback with Odin, you see Shanks and Blackbeard are on Roger's crew at the same time. Oh no, wait,
right.
Blackbeard's on Whitebeard's crew, but they were concurrently pirates of around the same age range at that time, and they knew each other. So.
Oh wait, Shanks. Yeah, because Shanks was on Gold Roger's crew.
Yeah, and then he grew up to be a Yonko, and by the time he was on Roger's crew, Blackbeard was already on Whitebeard's crew. He was there since he was like a teen or something. Blackbeard, it looked like.
I see. So they would have met each other. All right, but he didn't get them scars from some new conflict with him.
No, he
basically.
got it a long time ago. Probably before like Luffy ate the gum fruit, because he had the scars.
Yeah.
In the first chapter.
Right. I wasn't 100% sure, but I know I seen them like during the Paramount War.
Yeah. Oh man, just so much to.
Ooh, red hair Shanks.
Red hair Shanks. But I guess without further ado, we should move on. Yeah. Then let's go. My Hero Academia. This is My Hero Academia, chapter 329, In the Nick of Time, a big-time maverick from the West.
And I'm also going to reveal that this was Christian's original RGC. I'm wrong?
It was at least between this and another series. I was very...
Oh, I'm... Okay.
One Piece wasn't in the equation even before we started the show, honestly. So...
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
I know. I've been surprising you a lot with my RGC choices. But this is My Hero Academia. We open up with just All For One sitting in his chair with life support and still a dapper ass suit. Look, he always has to look clean. He can't just be lounging around in a t-shirt or something.
Yeah, I mean, he had his jail clothes on for a little while, but
Yeah.
He's got that off him.
He's got 2 high-end Nomu beside him. Oh, 3. Maybe there's like a third one in the background. And he's explaining how like the convicts that escaped from the various prisons in this world have made it very easy for them to just chill and hide for a while. So, they've won this little battle of hide and seek. Spinner is with him, and he mentions that we could have also won by just leaving the country. And he's like, you misread my intent.
Incorrect.
This is where you're playing checkers and I'm playing chess, little boy.
You little lizard man.
Listen here, little lizard boy. He's basically saying that winning this little match was a short-term objective and obtaining one for all is just the mid-game goal. It's not the final goal. And All For One reveals is like, I've been planning my entire life. I've been planning longer than Eisen has. And I have...
Sure.
And I have friends on the other side. He has so many friends across the globe. And I'm like, damn, how charismatic is All For One? They could just travel around the globe and accrue just so many criminals to be on his side. But,
I mean, he's the shiestiest nigga alive,
Yeah.
He attracts shiest.
Yeah. So yeah, he basically said All Might may have eradicated organized crime here in Japan, but other nations is a different story. And once
That's
they
really gangster, yo.
yeah, and he's like, once all of those like criminal organizations start acting up, each country will just have to fend for themselves at this point because they can't fight us here in Japan and the threats that are at home. So this is pretty sweet for me. And Spinner asks him, okay, what's this obstacle and what's the opportunity? And All for One knows of Star and Stripe, the strongest woman around and the greatest hero in America. And he actually respects her strength. He's like, yo, my tactics probably wouldn't really work on her because she's so fucking strong that she just kind of like, she just supersedes any shystiness. So,
Because she's pure?
No, I think it's just
I don't
because
understand.
I think it's just because she's like so fucking strong. She's like All Might, in that way, where like All Might can just push through any shiesty behavior with just brute force. But yeah, basically, it's like this is a gamble. So the objective for All for One right now is to steal Star and Stripe's quirk, and use it on his side. And once he has her quirk, the rest of the shit is easy money GG style.
We call that easy money GG.
So that's the plan there.
You can just mop up everything else.
Yeah. So he also says that he has a plan for Spinner. And it turns out that Spinner has become kind of like the hero of the heteromorph community. Just like folks who are like animal people or some kind of physically different from normal human beings that have kind of taken to him as their voice, as their leader in a way. And we cut to the outside world where a couple of the Paranormal Liberation Front surviving advisors are still around, and they used to work under, and these are the ones that used to work under Spinner directly. And that's something I didn't notice for when they were breaking down the different tiers and different sections of the Paranormal Liberation Front, that these guys were actually seen before. So it's cool to see them again. I'm glad that they weren't just like some randomly designed people, that they're actually like villains that we'll probably have to see down the line. I'm excited to see them go up against, I imagine, main characters are going to fight against these guys. Why do you know what I think? I think the kid that speaks to animals, I think he's going to fight Spinner for some reason because he's a heteromorph.
That would be crazy. Yeah, he is a heteromorph.
Yeah, I think he's going to be...
Maybe the kid with the tail would be there too.
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be interesting.
But that would be like,
We call that easy money GG.
For Ojiro. It would barely be a challenge for him.
Is that Spinner? Not Spinner. Stain.
Where?
In that split face with Spinner and...
Yeah. That basically, I guess Spinner is kind of taking more of a mantle similar to what Stain represented in the League of Villains. He's being that for the heteromorph community, I guess.
Oh, he does have that mask. Because he likes Stain.
Yeah, Spinner.
I wonder if they'll run into each other. That'd be interesting.
Oh, I know they will. They'll have to. It's built up. It has to be. So it turns out the League of Villains are actually kind of scattered right now. We don't know where Toga is. Dabi is I'm probably going to keep calling him Dabi because I'm used to it. But Dabi's still out there just vibing, hiding in the woods, I guess. But yeah, he's All for One. This is actually Skeptic talking. While he's communicating to any people who will listen, just like, just shit posting. He's explaining that like Redestro saw himself as the light and hope they represent. It makes no difference whether the League of Villains are true liberators, destined to accept this mission and burden. Hold them sacred. We shall endow them with divinity. He's basically doing like propaganda for them.
Right.
And we cut back to the heroes. It turns out Best Jeanist and Hawks are on their way with Endeavor to go meet Star and Stripe. They're going to meet up with her, plan immediately. Don't waste any time. They got no time to waste. And it turns out they get... Hawks gets a call. Well, first of all, Best Jeanist mentions that there's this treasured vintage denim from the Gold Rush that he's been meaning to ask about. It's like, is this just going to be a new weapon for Best Jeanist? I hope so. I think, how funny would it be like to play on that trope of like the ultimate move and it's just jeans? It's just special jeans.
Not with any charms or powers, just, those jeans, man. Made by this guy.
Those are the flyest jeans I've ever seen. Holy shit, he's going to kill us.
He's quaking fear.
Yeah, Endeavor calls out to the Gene Mobile, and he's just yelling like, a report just came in along her flight path 50 kilometers ahead of the landing point is him. He's shown himself. And we get a 2-page spread of just a hand sticking out of a cloak. And we already know what time it is.
Surprise, motherfucker.
It's Shigaraki flying up to meet Star and Stripe and her fleet of scary government planes.
Yeah, a bunch of them.
And Star and Stripe doesn't look worried. She's like, hey, such a warm welcome even before I've arrived. Are you that free to do as you please, mister? And she asks, are you the villain they call All for One? And in a splash page, Shigaraki just looks at her and says, good question. What am I exactly? And he's riding a Nomu in the sky. And that's where the chapter ends.
Not gonna lie.
It was pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
And the only salvation to this is that Brian isn't here to go ham and be like, oh, you like this now? I don't know if he would, but I definitely feel like a jackass whenever I actually start liking my hero because I talk a lot of shit. No, but this is hype as fuck. This is giving me Endeavor versus the Nomu vibes.
Oh, yeah.
Sudden and like, yeah, you about to meet her and see what she's about right now.
Yeah,
and she gonna get clapped.
I'll say this. I did not expect this to happen at all. This was a really big surprise for me. I didn't expect Shigaraki to just pull up. And be
he met her in the sky.
Yeah, he said, what's up? I heard you're coming to fight me. Let's just get this over with.
Listen, Midoriya developed some of his techniques going up against the sniper lady, right?
Yeah.
Shigaraki's about to develop going against the strongest hero in America.
Yeah, it's like Superman and Captain America combined.
Yeah, basically. It's very American.
So Her name is Star and Stripe, which is a Captain America special move in Marvel vs. Capcom.
Oh shit!
Star and Stripe.
Yeah. He it's the combo move. He hits you 3 times.
Yeah,
exactly. I remember that.
Yeah, this was a pretty great chapter, and honestly, I think it gives a little hope that the series actually has more legs than we think. Just with All for One saying just getting One for All is not the end goal. I have a bigger plan even after that. It gives a little more legs, and they keep mentioning that there are villains across the world. We might see more of that, of just outer Japan struggles. I don't know. I feel optimistic. Maybe I'm reading into it, but I like to think that. Horikoshi's just because I said final act doesn't mean it's not gonna last a couple more years.
That's fair. I was actually thinking the same exact thing as you was finishing up talking about the chapter. I thought about it differently though. I really don't think that we're going to get much of a glimpse into the other countries outside of quick flashes of it. I don't think we're going to get any dedicated chapters towards something going on in another country. Mm-hmm. Or any of these kids traveling outside of Japan to help out, or you know what I mean. I don't think anything like that's going to happen. But when he calls this the final act, all that really means is that I'm starting to realize that just means look, this is the direction we're heading in for sure. A confrontation with All for One. That doesn't even mean that the series is going to end after that. Mm-hmm. I think it will, but it doesn't, and I think it's wrong to assume that and feel so strongly. And there's so many battles that can happen before the actual main conflict goes off. All of these plans and things, all of these despair, then getting hope, only to have even more despair and some There's a lot. There's a lot that can happen.
Yeah, there's the people who broke out of the prison. Bro,
you talked about Coda versus this dude
Yeah.
Spinner. That's at least 3 chapters,
Yeah.
probably.
and they're
Only.
like underlings,
Yeah.
survivors of the Paranormal Liberation Front that we've seen, but we've never seen in action.
Yeah.
Just like Spinner's underlings from before from this chapter. There's a lot of potential fights. I mean, there's 22 characters in the main cast, like of the kids. I think they're like it's a full class of children, all of which could, in theory, or at least most of them could get battles on their own, But yeah, I mean, I thought this was a great chapter. I really enjoyed it. This was a short chapter too. This chapter was 15 pages long, counting the title page.
Damn.
And I think it's because, My Hero Academia's new movie is actually that premise that in their training arc between the war and Bakugo, Midoriya, and Todoroki joining Endeavor's agency, they took on a mission in America, and that's what the movie's about. So that's interesting. I don't know if it'll be considered canon. A lot of anime movies coming out these days are more and more considered canon. It's not like how it used to be, where they would just make casual.
Just because it's canon doesn't mean it's a good story that has any real development that's going to stick.
Sure. I'm not saying that. But
it's more like hey, that happened.
That happened.
What are they going to do? Show us a certain ability out of nowhere and then should have seen the movie, you would know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess that's not so bad.
No, they're not going to do that. They're not going to, just because it's canon doesn't mean it'll be like you miss something by not watching the movie, But in any case, that's all I got to say about My Hero. I thought it was a fun chapter. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I don't have much other words. Do you?
Nah.
Well, without further ado, let's move onward. The X books. We have 2 today. First of which is X-Men number 4, the Halloween episode, I guess.
Yeah, this was not interesting.
This was mid, as the
not
kids would
only
say.
was it mid AF, but they completely. Oh man, what did they do to Nightmare, Chris? What do you call that?
Let's just get through it, because this will be a fast one. Because this is basically a one-off standalone issue where the X-Men are all sleeping in their treehouse thing. Cyclops is just having constant nightmares of the times that he's failed people. And Nightmare, who I don't know, just pulls up and is like, delicious nightmares. He tries to... He doesn't really do anything.
Doctor Strange is dead.
Yeah,
should read his comics and find out about that. And I'm going to walk around for free now.
I'm just going to be eating nightmares and not have much consequence to the overall world. This doesn't really do anything to anyone.
Now, peep this. The Nightmare is one of the strongest people in the entire Marvel universe.
Is he? Did you
supposedly? Bro, there was a story where he literally took over every single thing. He used Doctor Strange to put everyone to sleep. He took control of Doctor Strange and he put everyone to sleep, and that gave him immense. Oh, you know what? It makes sense now that I'm thinking about it. The more people are sleeping and dreaming, the stronger he gets. So, yeah.
So now he's just going.
He made the entire Earth world fall asleep, and that gave him incredible power, and he was able to destroy everybody in the Marvel universe, even the terrestrial, that extra. You know what I'm talking about? Those things. What are they called? The giants in space.
Oh, Celestials.
Yeah, Celestials. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's not doing much now.
No, he's not doing any of that. I guess there's not enough people to sleep something.
I guess.
I get it. I guess it's not. I get it.
He's just tormenting the X-Men while they're asleep and not really doing anything to them otherwise. It doesn't seem to fuck with them outside of this. They just have bad dreams, and he just seems to get off on them. And Jean Grey is having a dream, and he I don't even know what dream this is. He just goes into a dream with Jean Grey, is like parading around her Marvel Girl costume, I guess, for the first time.
Then Emma Frost says some shady shit to her.
Yeah. It's like she just becomes Regina George from Mean Girls, and that's Jean Grey's worst nightmare.
Right. She said, "Hey, Jean, did you make this?" And Jean's like, "I did. Do you like it?" She said, "It's not for me or you."
Ooh.
I was like,
oh snap!
Oh.
Tell that pussy clot girl me know what.
Bang!
Bang!
Headshot.
Yo,
That's why she's having a nightmare.
Jean-
That one I understood vividly and clear.
Jean Grey deaded by that.
I agree with Emma. I think she looks stupid.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a choice. So I guess Nightmare gets bored of her dream and is like, "Yeah, this dream sucks. I'm gonna go to somebody else."
Yeah. She said, "If I wanted to see this, I'll watch Housewives of fucking Atlanta. I don't. I'll watch some reality TV. This is boring.
I can watch this on RuPaul on Thursdays. I don't have any patience for this.
So, what about the post-traumatic stress that Laura Kinney's experiencing?
Yeah, he goes into Wolverine, Laura Kinney's dream, and he's like, "Yes, she's having a conflict with herself, and she's going through memory gaps because she went into the vault, and she doesn't remember what happened in the vault." Oh.
She's stabbing her like vault version of herself because she's like, not only does she has gaps in her memory about it, she doesn't want to accept any of it.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I guess that was probably the most interesting part of this whole entire book, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just reminding us that, like,
she knows something. She knows that there's something missing. She's aware.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a plot point. You know what I mean? Because she's complicit now.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting drama. She's afraid to be loved.
Yeah.
You got the fortress up.
Okay, so Jean Grey just interrupts this moment as he's just like, I guess, reaching climax, and he's just, and she's just like, "You will be quiet while I throw you out of here." And he's like, "No, you unhand me, woman!" And then Jean Grey just slaps the shit out of him, and then he
With
goes,
her hand.
yeah, and he goes like, "I'm going away!" Like, well, first Jean Grey is like, "Do you want to know what I said to the people at the Hellfire Gala?" And it's just like, Jean Grey just like, "I may have killed a lot of people and I'll never make up for it, but you know what? I'm a good guy and I'm going to be a good guy with the X-Men and stuff." And
She said something about trying to make up for it.
yeah, and Nightmare just can't handle this positive energy. So he's just like, "I'm getting out of here. This fucking sucks."
He called her a sanctimonious wretch. What does that mean? What is sanctimonious?
It means, like holier than thou, like up in your high horse.
Oh, like that's saying something about somebody. Like
higher than thou, like acting like all like, I'm trying to be good, like a goody goody, two shoes lady.
Sanctimonious wretch.
Yeah, so you sanctimonious wretch. And he just goes away on his dark horse that he materializes out of the shadows. And he just goes into New York City, I guess, and is just like, I'm going to go check out other people's nightmares. But then Marvel Girl turns into a giant. And she's like, well, I'm not weaker than you, noob, so you're going to have to go away. Guess what, noob? You're dealing with...
I don't know what the fuck you thought this was. But I'm Marvel Girl.
Yeah, and she slaps the ass of his horse, and then he gallops away to wherever.
Carajo Land.
Yeah, to Carajo Land, and I don't really understand why. Just why. Why? What was the point?
It was so easy.
Yeah.
Yo, I swear he's a big time villain. I don't know if he's a big time villain, but there was an event where, he was it.
I mean, I don't believe it. I have no respect for Nightmare.
You disagree? You think I'm lying about my teeth, or I misinterpreted the whole story?
I mean, I don't see it.
I'm gonna send you the video later.
He just got pwned, embarrassingly.
Yeah, he did. But Marvel Girl, she's an Omega level telepath.
Marvel Girl didn't even have to put on her dumb costume in order to do this. She put on her full getup to do this. At 3 a.m., she's just like, I'm going to dress up to take on Nightmare.
Bro, she woke up real quick, took care of Nightmare, and then went right back to bed. Like she went to go get a glass of water or something.
She woke up quick, fast, showered, put on her costume, and then went to go confront Nightmare. Took him about like 10 minutes, and then came back. And Cyclops is just like, did you sleep at all, Jean? And she's like, Scott, sleep is for the weak. And then I guess stuff actually relevant to the plot starts happening because Ben Urich goes over to a cemetery to where there has been a grave robbery, and we see that Nathan Summers, aka Cable's body, has been stolen, as we know from the Cable series, where Deadpool, I guess, took the body and has been housing him in his house in Staten Island. Do you not remember that?
No, what?
Okay, so Deadpool in Staten Island was taken over by monsters, and Deadpool became the king of monsters in Staten Island.
Mm-hmm.
So he is, I don't know why, but for whatever reason, he took Cable's body and he put it in just this case and put it in
I remember that. I remember that. They're saving it. Oh. Yes, this is similar to that situation.
It is that situation because apparently the mutants couldn't be bothered with redigging the grave so nobody would notice. And Ben Urich is like, this is interesting.
Wow.
This does point to a lot of crazy shit happening in Krakoa because, as we know from the last issue, Ben Urich has been digging into the mutant dying and coming back from the dead craze that's been happening.
I would say, like, people come back to life all the fucking time, bro. But I guess it's just happening so much for a lot of mutants that were confirmed dead.
Yeah. I mean, I think when it's also that, like, when superheroes come back, I imagine that there's, like, stories about it and heroes kind of explain. Usually they, like, are like, he's back. Maybe they don't tell the whole story, but they're like, he's back. You know, just so you don't feel weird if this guy's just walking around again and you know he dead because they reported it. Because Ben Urich, they mentioned it was because he saw that Jumbo Carnation had died once, and then he just saw Jumbo Carnation hanging out. So he's like, what? And then one of the people who are after the mutants give him a file of all the evidence that supports that the mutants may have unlocked the secrets of immortal life somehow. So he's been digging into that. Meanwhile, in space, Fei Long, Mr. Thirst Bucket himself, has floated.
What a dweeb.
Dude, he's pissed.
What a dumbass.
He spent his entire life trying to figure out how to colonize Mars, and just when he was about to do it, like probably like 2 days before he was supposed to do it, Arakko took over Mars, and he's been salty ever since. So he's
so mad.
Yeah, he's so upset. So he goes into...
he's in for such a rude awakening, yo.
Yeah, because the Iraqi don't play.
Oh, he has no idea. He has absolutely no idea.
Yeah, he has no idea how little they play, you know? So he goes into space, and he sets up this whole, like, ruby quartz thing that, like, I guess absorbs sunlight and like, magnifies it onto him. Like a glorified magnifying glass onto an ant. And he uses the ruby quartz as a lens to, I guess, give him all the powers that the sun can, in theory, give you without the skin cancer and burning up alive from it. So
what?
I think that's what he's going for. He doesn't explain exactly what it is, but I think he's definitely trying to get some powers from the sun by filtering it through ruby quartz. Which is actually what which is actually what the lens in Cyclops' eyes are made out of, in the visor that he wears, that prevents him from shooting out his eye beams at all times.
Well, I actually did think about this. I thought this whole time he was just conditioning his body to be able to walk around on Mars
That could be
and
it.
survive, whatever, or something like that. But I didn't realize that at this point he could be adding, like, offensive abilities.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Come on, like, why would they be riding? Why would he be hopping in a rocket all the way to Morocco just to get smoked and reprimanded?
Yeah. Yeah, I think, like, you're right. He definitely mentions that this is supposed to, like, get him ready to, like, live on Mars, but maybe the cosmic rays that he's been trying to get, because cosmic rays are main ingredient for most superpowers in the Marvel universe,
right?
A la Fantastic Four. So he's also going to get some side benefits from it, being super strong, whatever his powers may be awakened after this. But yeah, I mean, this issue is over. That was where it ends. 90% of this issue was worthless.
Yes.
The last 10% were pretty cool. But luckily, this was just a one-off story that they decided to tell for some reason. I guess because they figured, hey, issue 4 is in October. Why don't we do a fun Halloween story that's actually not great? And they were like, okay.
Yeah, at all.
The editor was like, all right. You're going to get
Are you
back
sure?
to it.
I mean, we're already getting a bunch of criticism.
Yeah. Are they? I didn't know. I have no...
No, I don't know. I think some people... I don't know.
I'm not in tune at all with just, like, the community of, like, American comic readers. So I don't really know how they're...
I can't speak for much because I only get it from, like, 3 different sources, so that's not everybody.
But what have you heard? I'm actually curious as why.
No, I guess that, X-Men seems... It's not so much of it being bad in of itself. It's just the comparison from what it was before to what it is now.
I see.
And a lot of people are, worried that it's just going to be this very one-off-ish, this very cheesy X-Men thing with no real depth to story.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just an extra add-on, some fucking, some bread.
I'm not mad at it how it's been so far because these have been like kind of introductory issues. I can't imagine that these won't play into a bigger thing, especially with the stuff with Ben Urich with like Discovery.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be the big impact, and maybe something coming out of Morocco with this fucking guy just like powering himself up and invading Morocco. But yeah, I mean, this issue was like not great except for the last like 3 pages, and even then it was like, this is cool, but yeah, nothing crazy so far. That's all I gotta say about it. Do you want to move on?
Yeah.
All right, then let's do X-Force number 24. Last we left off, there are a couple things happening. Beast fucked up again. He has a little guy running through his entire body because he tried to be sneaky, and it blew up in his face again for the billionth time. So he has gone to Black Tom to make a tiny plant version of himself and try to fish out this little man from his dumb body. Also, there's this little side story with Colossus's brother, Mikhail, who is planning the downfall of Krakoa alongside Zeno, I guess. And he has this guy named the Chronicler who we don't know about at all, except that he seems to be writing something, and Mikhail really wants him to write this thing. And in this issue, we get more details as to what that means. I think we figured what it was, but this was, I guess, a confirmation of what his abilities are and what he means by the writing. After Mikhail strong arms him into like forcing the issue, because it turns out that his powers are that he can manipulate reality to an extent of, I guess, of an individual person's story, so long as it kind of logistically works out, if that makes sense. Like, if it's something they would do, he would have to get into their mind to a degree and know what they would do in most situations and have a great understanding of this person in order to control their entire reality around them. Did you want to cut it?
There's a good text page about it that basically said it's kind of like he gets in tune with the person, and he connects to them, and it's just like a feeling. It's not something he does like with a lot of agency. Obviously, he has at least some agency, as he was, Mikhail was forcing him to write certain things.
Yeah,
and he was writing certain things, but he does have limits, and there has to be a natural flow to it. There's rules and limitations.
It's a lot in tune with how writers are like, this certain character wouldn't do this XYZ. He has to in theory see how this person would get to this point. He can push the issue, I guess, but it takes some maneuvering, I imagine.
Yeah, how can I turn Colossus into a traitorous asshole?
Oh yeah, and that's basically the plan there. So, and that's the source of contention between him and Mikhail, is that he's trying, his process is just too slow for Mikhail. He's like, I'm getting to it, but we have to naturally get him there.
And he's like, no slow burns.
Yeah. Yeah.
60 miniseries.
Mikhail is just a bad editor, and he's like, what are you talking about pacing? I don't like it. Give me action. I want action. Action. So yeah, he tortures the guy, the Chronicler, until he agrees to do what he says and speed up the process. And we cut to the escapades within Beast's body as Black Tom is chasing down this little man as a tiny plant person inside of Beast's body. Colossus has a little scene where he flirts with his girlfriend and is gonna get laid. And we cut back to the body. It's a little fun. I really like this little fun adventure that Black Tom has within Beast's body because it's kind of goofy. Black Tom actually catches up to the little monster, the little mini man, and manages to stab him through the stomach because he tried to be slick and backflip off of this thing. And Black Tom's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, right.
He gets to him, and then he's like, all right, Beast, I got him. And Beast is like, be careful, Tom. There's the only way is immediate extraction and incineration is the only way to be sure. And I'm like, fuck you, Beast. You're lecturing other people on how to deal with this guy.
Right. Right. When you... Oh, God. The irony.
Yeah. And honestly, he's right, because even more little men pop out and just start running out of the body. And he's like, shit. They end up in Beast's stomach, and Black Tom uses his plant ability to manipulate the salad that Beast ate the other day into forcing Beast to throw up. And in the meantime, we get more of the Chronicler writing Colossus's story as he finishes farm work and he comes home to get in the shower and then smash. But something happened. He has his girlfriend find out that that all of Colossus's paintings that he's been painting over the course of the series are actually Krakoan's secrets. And she found this out and she's like upset because apparently Colossus was planning on sending these out and selling these photos to the public, or these paintings to the public. Basically at the end of the day, like after this discovery, the Chronicler has Colossus kill the girl by snapping her neck in his big metal arms. And that, like, Mikhail changes his tune immediately. He's like, okay, cool, this worked out. All right, okay, I'm not mad.
Nice, yeah.
All right, sick.
Pulled up some vodka for him. He said, enjoy, comrade.
Yeah, enjoy,
but
comrade.
You got more work to do.
Yeah, you're not done yet, though. We get that informational page of the Chronicler kind of explaining his power to a degree. And we cut back to Beast throwing up Black Tom and all the mini men that were in his body. The real Black Tom uses a will-o-wisp to burn all these things.
That's so cool.
It is pretty cool. And Beast is like, oh God, this sucked. And then he sees that the little man is on Black Tom's nose, and he immediately grabs a scalpel and proceeds to try to stab Black Tom in the face. And then he's like, oh, he takes a
I'm
minute.
sorry, Black Tom, but I must kill you. For
I
our
must
country.
kill you immediately without any other. Like, I came up with this big old science plan to prevent me from dying. But for you, there is no other option but for me to stab you in the dumb face. But fortunately for Black Tom, Beast has a moment of clarity, and he's like, oh, wait, he's not actually on you. He's on my eye. And then he pulls an Uchiha and just plucks his eye out and stomps on it.
Easy, man. With fucking, what do you do with the end of his glasses? Ew.
Yeah, it's gross.
Oh no, with that knife you picked up.
Yeah, so...
Wow, I ain't gonna lie, that's pretty tough.
I mean, I wouldn't be able to
When you
do it,
step
dude.
on that eye.
I wouldn't be able to do that. I would be squeamish.
No, I wouldn't be brave enough.
I'd definitely be like, oh, fuck it. We'll just have you go back in my body again.
Yeah. So it's alright, it's okay.
It's all right. We'll try again later.
Okay, I'll push the spy. It's okay.
So, yeah, we cut back to Colossus as he's burying the girl. He's crying, and he goes back. He showers, and he takes a bath, and then he gets a knock on the door. And guess who's there but Professor Xavier?
I was hoping we could talk.
Oh, man. I think he knows.
I heard you was a snitch. So I was gonna be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
What?
Where's your girlfriend? I don't know.
You know, just
She
out.
said she was out.
She went out. I'm not possessive
Yeah,
over
that's
my
weird.
girl, Xavier. She can
Wait,
go
does
out.
he know? Like, does he know that he's like doing all these things?
I don't know. I'd like to think so. I'd like to think that like Xavier's like, all right, I know something fishy is happening here. But I mean, this is interesting.
This is so grimy.
Yeah, I like this issue.
You know
of,
the story? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, sorry. No, you go first.
The story started with with Colossus and Domino having their moments. You know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool that the series is getting wrapped up around him, and it made sense because his brother was a part of it, and now like they have the whole espionage aspect to it, where they already had publicly like put him out there, and everyone shamed Beast for it, but Beast was still wrong. Like I don't know, he was right, but he was wrong because Colossus is being controlled. This is pretty crazy. This has been a really good issue of. It's a good. I like where the story's going. I'm really interested.
I agree. I think this might be one of my favorite issues of the series. X-Force.
That was a VGI, by the way.
Oh yeah, same. I mean, easy VGI compared to the other one.
Yo,
Certified VGI.
One for me.
Very good issue.
Certified VGI.
Yeah, that was a certified very good issue.
Very good issue.
And I think like even on another standard week of X books, this would probably stand out as the better one because X-Force has always been consistently pretty good. It's always been like up there. Nothing really like
decent.
yeah.
It's
Nothing
had
like
its spikes in, but it's also had its values. You know.
yeah. It's never been a
Never did though.
It's never been in a place where I was like, well, maybe during like that Quentin Quire arc, I was like, meh. But otherwise,
okay.
other than that, I was like, if that was the worst of the series, then like this is actually a pretty solid series. And this is the best issue of it. I enjoy Colossus as a character, and I'm glad I'm seeing more of him. I don't know where he's gonna end up with when X-Force ends. I hope we see more of him though, because Colossus is cool as hell, and his beard stays even though he turns metal. Like his beard also turns metal, and I appreciate that. But that's all I gotta say. The X books were like batting a 50. It's batting 500. One of them was
Like literally, like right down the middle.
yeah. So, what more can you ask for? I guess that's all I gotta say. Though, are we ready to move on?
It looks like they're surfing in the next issue. That's interesting.
Nice, catching some totally sick waves. But in any case, I guess we should move on then. Black Clover. This is Black Clover, chapter 308. Grinbarial. All right. So last we left off, Finral showed up to help his brother Langris face off against Zeno, and they're both going to use their cool spatial magic. And I thought this was like, oh yeah, spatial magic battle, character development between these two characters. And they actually catch him from behind. They like use their powers to get into his zone, and
swipe.
And yeah, Langris uses his cool swipe technique, and we just get a totally black panel. We cut to Yuno waking up in a library that's very familiar, and it's very similar to where the grimoires are handed out in the Clover Kingdom. But he wakes up, he starts to raise his head a little, and in the distance, he just sees Langris impaled on Zeno's bones, and Finral's on. Oh wait, I don't know which one's the other way. They look the same.
Shish kebab.
Yeah, he got shish kebabbed.
Skewered.
And you do see like the effects of Langris's attack on Zeno still, but even though like
it just didn't destroy the heart.
Yeah. The spatial magic, even as strong as it was, couldn't destroy the devil's heart that Zeno now has. And Yuno's like, fuck, everything fucking sucks. Nothing worked. Even if I get back up, what can I do? Did I make the wrong choice? He says half of my companions were killed, and had them put me in the unit, and I even trained like my life depended on it. And he actually starts crying. This is like the most
vulnerable.
Yeah, this is the most vulnerable and despair-ridden that Yuno has ever been. And he just like is thinking to himself, "Is like, is this the end?" And he's like thinking about how everyone called him a genius, and they thought he was the hope of the hood, essentially. And
right.
Yeah, and he was like, "I was chosen and envied and hated and trusted, and I suffered loss and I swore." And then he remembers Asta. He's like, "I made a vow with him, and this is not all I am." And he tries to get up, and all of a sudden, he's just in this white space. And with a voice calling out to him saying, "Yes, that's right. I am you. But you have your own strength as well." And then we cut back to reality, and it's a Spade Kingdom grimoire just floating before Yuno. And the heavens start opening up, and the people from the outside are like, "I knew it. Master Yuno is." And I forgot who this elf's name, but he starts thinking, it's as I thought. His wind magic. It's Leeks and Tashia's ... And we cut back to Yuno as he gets up, and he says, "I will save my captain and the others. I'm going to save the kingdom and become the Wizard King. And so you're going down." Big 2-page spread with Yuno with his fairy thing, plus 2 different grimoire. And he's about to go ham on Zeno.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, this was probably going to be my RGC, if not for how much fun I had recapping One Piece. But
yeah, this is definitely the runner-up for me.
Oh, yeah, what a great chapter. And you know what? It is the really good chapter of the week for the audience.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
And for once, I have no qualms about that. I'm okay with that. Honestly, this RGC was very close. I think Black Clover won by 1 vote this week. My Hero Academia was very second. It was like right behind it. And Undead Unluck came in third. One Piece came in last, which I'm like, what are you guys talking about? How could it come last?
So wild.
Yeah, but I mean, this was a great chapter. I really enjoyed it. It's for as much as grief as I give Tabata, every now and then he shows me why he's like his true potential as a writer, and why I enjoy Yuno so much. Because Yuno's like very easily, when Black Clover started, everybody was like, "Oh, Yuno's this is like Naruto and Sasuke all over again. Yuno's just such a Sasuke."
Yeah.
And over the course of the series, he's just like so differentiated from himself, to not necessarily be a Sasuke, but like I said, he's Yuno Jordan. He has his own like funny but very serious personality, where he just like is just as competitive as the main character. They have the same goal, but they're pursuing it in the same way, but they're two sides of the different coin, because Asta came from nothing, whereas Yuno came from everything. Like, he's a prince, but he is also but he also has like he was also given away. He also lived the life of an orphan as far as he knew. So he understands struggle, and he understands that he's not just a prodigy. He worked hard. He mastered all these things, and he was always the best. Just because on top of natural talent, he worked hard. But yeah, he's an interesting character, and I like that this series took a while to really make him vulnerable. It really pays off, because in the last couple arcs, you see that is not infallible, because a lot of the series he's kind of a robot. He doesn't really talk much, and that's fine. That's not like an indictment on him. I actually kind of like that, because like his impartiality to a lot of things is comedically funny sometimes. But things start to get to him as he gets older, and he experiences things that gets close to people. And I think that's great. This is like great low-key character development that Tabata is actually very good at. He hides it underneath.
Yeah, that was really low-key.
He's very good
a
at doing
closed-off
that.
foster child that only had one real friend that he felt close to and open to, and that was Asta.
Yeah.
But he developed real relationships along the way, and yeah, that was very well said. That was a great point, Chris.
Yeah, and this chapter is just like a continuing drawing the parallel between him and Zeno, because Zeno is very much the same thing. He just Zeno just can't hack it, because at the end of the day, Zeno went back to his place of privilege and asked, "It's like, Daddy, can I get a demon, please, Daddy?
Please,
Daddy, I killed my friend in battle, Daddy, and I want a demon now."
Yo, true. Dead ass. He's like, okay, I'll take the fortune. I fucked up.
Yeah.
Fucked up hard. Lost my friend along the way.
Yeah. But yeah, great chapter. Very justified audience RGC. I've already said my piece. Do you have any thoughts, Josh?
Nah.
Oh, man.
This was a great chapter. Too bad I couldn't give it the RGC.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was very close. I just had so much fun with One Piece this week.
It was a champ. When One Piece is firing in all cylinders, it can't lose.
Yeah.
Unless it's up against World Trigger, and World Trigger's exceptionally dry.
Yeah. I can't wait for it to come back. But in any case, I guess we should move on then. Undead Unluck.
Dead Road.
Is that what it's called? Is that what this chapter is called?
No, but that's the name of one of his moves.
Oh, Dead Road.
It's real cool.
Dead Road.
Yeah, you'll see. Well, you'll see when it comes.
Yeah. Anyway, this is Undead Unluck chapter 82. Take a look. Last we left off with Undead Unluck. Billy and Andy were going at it while Yuko climbed to the top of the tower to confront the UMA known as Spring. And Billy has 6 powers that he uses in a revolver-esque way.
Gangsta.
Very cool. I'll give him one of these.
Well, it's called Partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
One of his abilities actually goes way back to the beginning of the series, where Gina had the ability of Unchange. And he had Andy on the ropes, just kind of like frozen in unchanging air, until I guess Andy was able to pull off his skin and escape the unchangeable air. It's real gross. And guess what? It doesn't get any less gross. I don't know how they're going to make this into an anime, but yeah, he's sitting there.
Be great.
There's muscle just exposed underneath, and he just blows up his fucking body with blood. And he escapes into a building somehow, not just into a building, but to like the 3rd floor of a building. And I'm like, damn, that's fast. So he's just sitting there thinking, about his abilities, and is like, well, I can't afford to make another mistake. And he thinks of all the abilities that he's had. And he starts to rip off his own skin continuously. And I'm like, all right, I get it, but it's gross. And it feels like I can't even. And he starts to think about how negation abilities get stronger as your mind develops. The further you get along in your journey as a person, whether it's confronting your past and your present, your negation and your understanding of your own ability grows stronger. So, you know what? He's like, I'll show you the potential that negators hold. And he comes out as a fully blood figure, like he's walking blood.
So cool.
It is pretty metal as hell.
You read The Gray Man, right?
Yes, I mean, I think I stopped around the 15th issue volume. They stopped coming out here for a while. They started coming out here now. Again,
Dude, Crowley. Do you remember Crowley?
Oh,
The
yeah.
vampire dude?
Yo.
Bro, he gets into a fight at some point.
I know
Spoilers,
exactly what
guys,
you're talking
for The
about.
Gray Man. Sorry. I don't know if you remember, but bro.
I know, I remember. Because
I forget who he fights against, but yo, he basically gets put in a fucking coffin. Like, he gets bodied. Like, but then the nigga, like, he basically uses all the blood in his body and forms himself and fights. And that shit was so crazy.
Dude.
Like, they find out that the innocence wasn't in his teeth, but it was actually in his blood.
Yo.
So he was able to fight just as a blood person. That shit was... That's what this reminds me of. As soon as I seen that, I was like, wow.
You know what?
But it was so epic in The Gray Man because it was just pure willpower. And he
that
was
was
like,
such a
I don't give a
well-written-
fuck about nothing else. I'm not losing.
That was such a well-written fight. It's ingrained in my mind because we read that in high school. And when we read that, we were losing our minds. We were out
It was so epic.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't supposed to be that gangster, man. Because they just ran... He was just like a new side... Even One Piece wasn't that gangster, but they knew when they got a new character. Like,
yeah, Crowley.
Crowley just put on.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even in his arc or immediately right after. Just like when they got to the next like major thing, he just was he put on for his team.
Yeah, Crowley.
Yeah, respect to Crowley.
Crowley was pretty much instantly my favorite character in The Gray Man after that one. That was
he
such a
definitely
fucking
was
fight.
my favorite. Yeah.
I want to reread. They have all of The Gray Man on the app. I should read that again.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I gotta read it.
Oh yeah.
It gets to a point where it turns into like a monthly manga, and yeah, I don't know. You'll see.
I didn't read.
Maybe we'll talk about that.
Oh, I'd love to. I'd love to like talk about The Gray Man.
Yeah, I want to reread Gray Man. It was awesome.
We should do that. We should like try to catch up to it and maybe add it to the lineup. If I don't know if they release it here though. That's the thing. I think they only release it in volumes here, but they don't put it out as chapters come out.
You would want to take it chapter by chapter?
No. We wouldn't cover it chapter by chapter, but I guess like if we find out that they release it on the app or whatever on Shonen Jump's website, we can cover it if it does.
Right. Okay, in its entirety. Okay. But anyway, back to
back to Undead Unluck. He's a full ass blood clone, and not only that, he just continues to spawn off more blood clones.
In the nastiest way.
Oh, it's really gross because he says that they're life-sized scabs. So I guess the front...
Essentially.
Yeah, he just like dries up the blood that is the front of the body into the scab-like thing. And every time like there's a defense put up by Billy, he clones himself with the blood and moves behind him where he's uncovered. Sheesh.
Right. And what's scabbing him up is when he gets hit by the Unchange. That's how then he just rips right out of it. That's why it leaves a casing because of the Unchange.
Yeah.
So like it just looks so crazy, man. It got less gross when he was just in this blood form, when he wasn't ripping his skin off. I didn't like that too much.
No, I wasn't a fan either. But yeah.
The name of the move, Dead Shadow.
Yeah. So cool.
Oh, then he hits him with another special move.
Yeah, he uses the Dead Road. It doesn't really hurt Billy initially, but he knocks him into a river that like was nearby, and the water starts to like fill up the air barrier that he's created. So he has to get rid of Unchange and swim back to shore, where he meets fucking Andy already ready with his finger gun, with his spirit gun pointed. They have their guns drawn to each other. And basically he's just like, you should have left. He tells him what he should have done. He coaches him. He's like, yo,
right.
You should have kept Unchanged active and fought underwater while choking. That's what I would have done, being undead. And he explains like, you know what? And this is why you can't beat me, is that your powers, although you have access to 6 negations, you don't have the necessary experience and skill that comes with having them all your life and training with them and discovering new ways to use them, being creative with your abilities. You can only use them to a certain extent, and you can't beat experience, basically. And I think like he also maybe there's like a limitation in general that you can't use them to their max potential, because you're not the inherent user of this negation.
Yeah, there's no way to. You know what I'm saying? Unless he goes through his own experiences using them in life.
Yeah.
But they just wouldn't affect him because he's controlling them in the first place. It's not the same. Yeah, that was a really interesting point. I like that. But that makes me wonder, man, what is his actual ability? It hasn't been revealed yet. And maybe he'll maybe he'll be able to replicate Uma abilities, or, like the other...
I think it's exclusive
like
to...
Summer or something.
I think it's exclusive to negations as opposed to...
Well, how could he upgrade it then? Aside from just getting more or making it like in a cool way.
I don't know. I mean, that's the question, I guess. Because abilities in Undead Unluck are really creative and cerebral, so I wouldn't presume to be an expert on it.
Right, it'd be real hard to guess.
Yeah, but in any case, Billy just kind of like talks about how not all negators are strong as you. Some lose heart, some take their own lives. Ability users suffer more in proportion to the greatness of their ability, and there's no need for them to struggle. All weak negators need to do is live and keep being used by me. The only ones who should face God are the strong. Which is actually... I mean, it's kind of like, I get it. I get his like point. It's twisted. Like it's not like it's not a good thing, but there's moments where you humanize a villain as not necessarily make their actions explainable or acceptable, but you see how they get to the logic. And the way he sees using other people's abilities is that, yeah, he uses people and all that stuff, but he takes the brunt. It's so he can take the big responsibility away from them, and they don't need to suffer at the hands of God, because he'll
like
use
a big
them.
brother.
Yeah, because he'll use their abilities to confront God for them. And I think that's what he was trying to say.
Yeah.
It's very cool. Big brother.
Damn, you've been on fire this episode. Holy shit.
Oh my God.
But the analysis, damn, I'm just a spectator. I'm witnessing this.
Yeah, I've been writing a lot. I'm getting in tune with this part of myself now.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, tell us what you guys think. I could be... If I'm wrong, if you agree, please inflate my ego. I need it. I need it, please. But yeah, this is a pretty cool chapter, and but Andy says like, agreed. But guess what? All of us, we are strong. If you think I'm lying, just look with your own eyes. And they look out into the city, and they notice that the cherry trees are wilting. And not just that, not really that, but they're collecting at the top of the tower. So at that point, they figured that like Fuko must have done something to really draw the attention of spring. So at that moment, Andy cuts off his own head and is like, now let's do some blossom viewing. And he asks Billy to wrap him in Unchanged, and he's like, what? Why? What's your game here? And he explains like, I ain't going to be able to change you, but so we should take a look at Fuko together. I'm positive she'll be able to change her, as we get a big 2-page spread of Fuko confronting Spring. Spring is such a cool character design, by the way.
Right.
This 2-page spread is really cool. I really like it.
It is. It makes Fuko look really cool. But the hair, the clothed guy looks fucking terrified.
It is funny how Clothy's just like, fuck. But yeah, I mean, what a great chapter. The manga have all been great this week, honestly.
Yeah, it was a pretty solid week. It was fun.
Yeah, Undead Unluck is so fun. When it's like shooting, it's shooting, man. It's really fun and very enjoyable to read. And I can't wait to see how Fuko does it. Obviously, his Spring's powers are predicated on luck because of his whole dice rolling thing. Fuko,
They're gonna play a fucking game. They're gonna play some type of they're gonna play some Squid Games.
yeah, they're gonna play some Squid Games out here.
There's some chance ones.
I'm very excited though.
With the marbles.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have any more thoughts outside of that. Do you have any thoughts, Josh?
Nah, man. I'm ready to wrap this up.
Hell yeah. Then let's close it out. That has been our show. Thank you guys so much for listening, as per usual. We do this every week, of course. You can find me at the Chris Aspinall, Josh at JDCole_37, Brian at B.ESP on Twitter and Instagram. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram as well at New Jump City. I don't think I mentioned that in the opening, but follow us there especially. We do a really good chapter of the week poll that you can vote on your favorite chapter of the week, and we will reveal it on the next week's show, which is usually recorded on either Wednesday or Thursday. So check us out. You can email the show at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about, or any opinions you guys want us to read on the show. We'll definitely do that. We'd love to hear your thoughts and share it and, build this little community. So please do so. You can also comment on the videos that you watch. If you're watching any of the videos, there will be more highlight breakouts. I'll be better about it, I promise. But yeah, there'll be comment what you thought about this week's issues. We'll read them. If you guys want us to read them, just let us know that you want us to read them on the show. And subscribe while you're at it. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Smash that like button. Share it. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. We are on there. And, if you... the audio versions come out first. So, it'll be a good way if you guys want to hear it before it comes on YouTube. You can. And I think that's it. Without further ado, thank you guys so much for listening. And stay safe, New Jump citizens.
Peace out, guys. Thanks for listening.